My name is Emily Scott Robinson. I am here in the Black Canyon of the Gunnison National Park with the National Parks Conservation Association and Yellowstone Bourbon. I grew up in North Carolina, but I grew up spending my summers in Michigan, and we would go up to Lake Michigan. I'd get lost in the woods. It was amazing, and that's really kind of where I got my first taste and love for the outdoors. And then I moved out to Colorado for the first time right out of college and fell in love with the national parks out here. And then I lived in an RV for 4 years full-time and traveled around the country as a musician and just explored, and it was the best. My favorite thing to do in a national park is to get into the backcountry and to camp and to hike and explore. I think they're really sacred to me because of that preservation of the wilderness and the preservation of nature. The boundary that's set around the place saying this is going to be preserved for everybody. The education that you can get at national parks is really incredible. The park rangers and the guides know so much. And these are incredibly special geologic locations. There's so much historical significance to them. You can have this really enriching experience where you're getting to love and experience beautiful nature, but you're also understanding it in this bigger context. The features that really make this park special, they're all around us, but being in such a dramatic river canyon is so incredible. This place is so wild. It's a really special place, and I love that it's accessible to everybody. And the thing I love about national parks is you can come here and you can experience this. And you should, because it helps us feel more human. It pulls us out of our screens and out of our heads and puts us back in touch with the land that we're living on and puts us back in a place of wonder and awe. And I think we could all use more of that in our lives. I think it's really important to protect national parks and public lands out west because there is so much new development and growth happening out here. They're a guarantee that this beautiful piece of land is not going to be developed or sold off. We have to keep this preserved because if this goes away, we can't get it back. The thing I hope for when people listen to this song, when they listen to Westward Bound, is that they heed that voice in them that's calling them out on an adventure.
Packed a suitcase, sold the rest. I couldn't wait to leave that town. U.S. highway rolling west with all the windows down. Turns out I'm not a city girl. I miss the trees and sky and ground. I need to see what part of me that I lost can still be found. Going westward bound. Ooh, westward bound. Stop for breakfast in the middle of West Texas at a diner stuck in time, where old men read the paper, take their coffee black every morning of their lives, and the waitress knows them all by name, got their orders memorized. And this is the America that the interstate left behind. Going westward bound. Ooh, westward bound. Past the cornfields, the UFO museum, little old churches washed in white, with names like Holy Restoration, Tabernacle of Eternal Life. In the mountains of New Mexico, I crossed the Great Divide, flip through the empty radio and drive on through the night. I got 1,000,000 miles on this car. What's 1,000 more? Traveling so light that I might soar. I might soar. Ooh, going westward bound. Gotta get lost if you wanna get found. Westward bound.
It's important that national parks are protected so that we all get to experience the wonder of this incredible nature and to preserve wild places. And that's why the work between the National Parks Conservation Association and Yellowstone Bourbon is so important.